Hey guys, Katrina and Heather here, and we are on our way to a location. We've both been here, just never together.
Do you have like a little drum? We could do like a little drum.
Oh,
Like a triangle.
I left my drum at home.
Damn it.
I know.
Hillview Manor.
Woo! Heather's never seen the episode of Portals that I did here, so she doesn't know where and what I've experienced. And I don't know what she's experienced other than I know she's gotten EVPs.
Thank you to BetterHelp for sponsoring today's video. Now, like a lot of you guys, I have definitely been through some hard times in life, and because of that, my mental health has definitely been affected. Now, even though I believe that therapy can be a great tool, I have definitely found it a challenge to get started. So if you're new to therapy or you're just getting back into it, you know as well as I do that the first step of just finding someone that you're comfortable with can be so overwhelming that it's enough to stop you from trying. That's one of the things I really like about BetterHelp. Since it's an online therapy platform, they make it really easy for you to find the right therapist. Once you sign up, you'll put in your information, and from there, they're going to connect you to a therapist that fits your needs based off of what you told them. You'll get to see their credentials, their hours, and even their therapy style. And this ensures that it's right for your lifestyle, but also your goals. And if they're not right for you, you can switch at any time. The other thing I like about BetterHelp is that since it's online, you get to do this all from the safety of your own home. Now, I have personally found online therapy to be so beneficial because I don't have to be anywhere. And because of that, I can be relaxed, I can be fully present, and I get the most out of my sessions. So if you're struggling and you're not sure where to start, BetterHelp might be a really great first step. If you're curious about finding out more, go to betterhelp.com/Katrina Weidman and enjoy a discount on your first month. Hillview Manor opened as the Lawrence County home in 1926 and housed the indigent, mentally ill, and those unwanted in society. It's estimated that 10,000 people died on the property. The original administrators, the Snyders, were notorious for their mismanagement of the poor farm and allegedly allowed conditions to get so bad that when residents died, they would be thrown into a mass unmarked grave on the property. Years later, when the rains were heavy enough, the bones of these poor souls would be uncovered. Due to the Snyders' negligence, they were asked to resign in 1944, and by the 1970s, the Lawrence County home became a nursing home and was renamed Hillview Manor. Hillview Manor closed in 2004 due to financial constraints. Carrie, the building's current owner, purchased the property with the intention of converting it into condos, but the paranormal activity in the building halted these plans. Visitors report shadow figures, disembodied voices, objects being moved, and more on a weekly basis. With this being our first time investigating the location together, we're excited to share the experiences we've had at Hillview with each other, and maybe we'll be able to document new ones.
You take me to your experiences first.
Okay, all right,
And I'll take you to mine.
let's go. There's actually one on the first floor.
Perfect. Hello, Hillview. We're back.
I forget, like, it's so wild to me how big this place is.
It's a maze. As many times as I've been here, I still don't know where I'm going half the time.
Okay, so this is the time clock hallway, and they call it that because this is where there's a time clock and it's in a hallway.
Reporting for duty.
So this is where, oh, it's so creepy. It's still really creepy. So when I was here for Portals, Carrie was telling me and Jack she doesn't come down this hallway, it freaks her out. And she was saying how a lot of people feel sick down here.
Oh, yeah.
And when I walked down here, and we were just sort of vibing it, I started to get this like head pressure kind of feeling. It was like a womp, 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 and it wouldn't go away. And the tour guide that we were with that day, he took us later to the stairwell, and he was like, that's where a portal is. was like, well, how do you know that's a portal? And he was like, well, there's a lot of things that happen. We've had people come through here. Everybody feels sick in this area. What's interesting is we brought in Michelle. She was blindfolded. And when we get to the stairwell, she was like, people would instantly feel sick here. And then, this is weird too. So we walk down here. Have you been down investigating this area?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so you know about Bill Boots?
Yes.
Yes.
He can't sit in his chair.
Oh, I sat in his chair.
Oh, you did?
Oh, I sat in his
What
chair.
happened?
Nothing.
Were you wearing boots?
I was wearing boots.
Yeah.
I was wearing Docs.
I wonder if that. Oh gosh.
Doors
Oh.
closed now.
Weird.
That's weird.
I heard something. I was like, what?
Did your foot hit it or anything?
No,
hit it?
I was right in the middle of the hallway, and I just like felt the door hit me.
These
That's
are
weird.
very.
I mean,
Could have just slid, but still, it was. We weren't near it.
I was like, because I was like symmetrically framing both of you like dead center of the hallway. So I mean,
That,
Every time I come here, these doors are always propped open, and I don't ever remember them going shut.
yeah, I don't
You know what I
remember
mean?
that either.
So, but
why is always stuff happening to me on these walkthroughs?
he's definitely not a cooler.
He's not a cooler. Nope. He's a heater.
Okay, well, we'll take note of that. And
Maybe it was Bill Boots.
we were talking about Bill Boots.
And you are wearing boots.
He's like, welcome
Bill.
to my hallway.
I don't know if I should thank you or be upset that you closed the door on me, but here we are.
ooh, it's like trying to separate us.
No one will ever separate us. Katrina.
Oh, so this is his room. So here's what's weird, and I cut it out of the episode. Michelle's completely blindfolded and doesn't know, like, right, we don't tell her anything. And we were like, okay, Michelle, like, we only have time to take you to one more spot. Where do you want to go? Woman is blindfolded. We're walking by this room, and she's like, there, this room.
She points to this room.
No. She walks by Bill's room, goes to she points to 144. So Bill's room, 128, when we were there, the guide was telling us that he spends time in 128, but he won't go into 144. We're like, why? And he's like, a lot of the things that have come through on spirit boxes tell me not to go. I don't feel comfortable in there. I think he had like a negative experience in here. So when we come in with Michelle, she's like, there's a negative energy in here. And what she was picking up on psychically is that at some point there was someone who was alive. From this room, she kind of felt like it was like an orderly, but maybe a patient who went across the hall and did something very, very bad to someone across the hall. And what's bizarre is she didn't know that there was like a room there that we were interested in taking. She had no idea. Like we weren't like, there's 2 rooms on this floor, choose one. It was just like, we can only take you to one more spot. And she instinctively was like, I need to be here.
Okay,
Next
now
spot?
I'm going to take you to the second floor
Okay.
where I have had multiple experiences. We'll start on the
Ooh.
second, and then I have an experience on the third floor.
Okay.
I'll show you. This hallway we're going to, the prominent spirits there are Mary Aiello, who lived here a very long time, and Jeffrey, who is a little boy that is somehow associated with the place. I don't think they really are sure what his association is with the place, but it's a very active hallway.
Okay, so that's where the bulk of my stuff happened.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I have one experience there that's pretty significant.
Okay. So we were up here, Jack and I were up here, we had a camera up with us, and then I did a solo up here, like completely alone. And, you know, you get knocks and bangs and stuff in buildings like this, but there were a couple times where it seemed to happen on cue. You'd be like, make a loud noise, and then like, boom, like a loud noise would come through. At one point I heard footsteps, and they sounded really, really prominent to where I'm like, that can't just be an old building because they had too much of a pattern to them.
Yeah.
And then another point, and they cut this out of the episode, at some point we heard what sounded like somebody dropping a ball and then it rolling. And so look,
Coming from the 3rd floor?
coming from up here, but there's nothing above here. This is just roof. There were noises that were happening up here that seemed to happen on cue, and when we went to investigate them, we couldn't find an answer.
We couldn't find the source.
Right. And when we asked the tour guide the next day about it, we're like, hey, this happened up here. What is that? The response we got was, that stuff happens in that hallway all the time, and we've constantly looked for explanations, and we come up empty-handed. So look, is it supernatural? I don't know, but I can tell you, it was like, I was scared up here. I was very scared up here. Like, everything in my body was telling me to run out of this hallway. But
yeah,
even just listening, I haven't heard one bang since we've been up here. Like, okay, whoever's up here, last time I was here, you made all these scary noises. Can you make another scary noise so I can show my friends? Like a really, really loud bang, like you did last time.
I don't know what that was. It was like a clicking I heard a clicking from that room.
Click is a good way to describe it.
Okay. We were all set up in this area, and we had 2 different tripwires, and we had a REM pod. And there were a lot of Italians that frequented, there were a lot of Italians that lived in here. And for some reason, we got on the topic of talking about pasta and spaghetti. And we had a spirit box running. And when we started talking about spaghetti and different kinds of sauces and things, you could hear what sounded like someone slurping through the spirit box, like
Really?
several times, to the point where we were like hysterically cracking up. Because, I don't know, we've listened to spirit boxes a lot.
Yeah.
When do you hear like slurping? Like,
I don't
it
think I've
literally
ever heard
sounded
it.
like someone was eating spaghetti, and I was like dying. We asked a specific question about like a type of pasta.
Yeah.
And in response, we got a direct response, like 2 separate tripwires both of them completely lit up on the floor.
Oh, really?
And we were just like hysterically laughing because, again, you could hear the slurping come through. Like, it came through so much that we were like, what is going on?
Yeah.
But I don't know, it was just a fun experience because it wasn't scary. It was just like we were among the spirits just having a conversation.
Yeah.
But we got like such a good response on not only the equipment, but hearing that slurping sound. Now I want to take you to Angelo's hallway.
Okay.
That's where I got the bulk of the EVPs that, that I've got here. This is kind of where I like to start investigating.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I usually set up here, and the last time I was here, I have a couple EVPs I'm going to play you.
Okay.
But this room and this room, you can hear what sounds like someone moving around in the room. And one of my EVPs I'm gonna play for you, we were standing out here and there was a guy standing here with his back turned, and you can hear it on the recording, like you hear the voice. Angelo, what was your last name?
Did you hear that?
I think it was the other team. Or you heard something behind you?
I swear, I thought I heard a voice behind me.
Oh. So right in between when he says, do you hear that? You hear like a whisper and then another whisper. Like, it's like 2 syllables.
It's in between him saying, okay.
Did you hear that?
I think it was the other team. It's almost like it says like Tim or Jim. Like, I don't know what word it's saying.
That's
but it's
really loud, though.
It's like I know, and no one was whispering. Like, I was tagging everything. No one was moving. It was a very small group of people.
How long were you here?
You know what this sounds like? It almost sounds like it's saying like 18 months or something, 18 years.
How long were you here?
How many times did you guys hear that stuff as DVPs versus EVPs? Because in the one clip, the guy reacts, he's like, oh, I think I heard somebody behind me.
Honestly, that visit, it was just that time. Like,
Just
I didn't
that
hear
one
anything
guy.
in real time. It was when, because we would do just quick, like 1 minute like EVP bursts, and then play it back with my speaker, and that's when we heard it. Angelo, I'm back. We're re-listening to the EVPs. We're re-listening to my last visit here. Are you happy to have me back? So yeah, those were my experiences in this hallway. It always seems like it's pretty active.
Yeah.
For me. I don't know what it is with these rooms, but it always feels like you're not alone when you're up here.
Okay, so I need to take you to the 3rd floor.
Ooh, okay. I also have an experience up there.
Do you?
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Yep,
Okay.
3rd floor.
We found it.
Okay, where was your experience?
Oh, right in here?
Okay.
Is this where your experience
Yep.
was? Wait, mine too.
Okay, you tell me yours
Okay,
first.
all right, so they took us back here, and I can't remember why off the top of my head. There's a call, this kept going off.
Oh,
It went off like twice.
really?
Yeah, nobody was near it. We were actually, the one time it went off, we were all the way down the hallway. And then it was like that, because you hear it down the hall.
Yeah.
And so we were down the hall, and we were like, what is that noise? And the tour guide was like, that's the call button in the room we were just in. Came, set it off, happened again.
Huh.
Set it off. And like, look how hard I have to,
You
like,
have
that's
to pull
not,
that pretty hard,
like,
yeah.
this is just me. Like,
And
you
I
have
feel
to,
like on the tours, like when you do the regular tours here, that they've said that that's happened in a lot of the different
yeah.
areas.
And the weird thing is, like, and it's so funny because it was cut from the episode.
Oh, that's silly.
Yeah, so nobody knows that happened to us, except for, I guess, the tour guide. And I'm assuming he would have told other people.
Yeah.
But as far as like the public, nobody knows that happened.
This happened a couple months ago, one of the last times I was here, and it was after one of my events, and we turned this corner just like we just did, and we're walking, and we get to right about here, and we hear 2 women talking, and we thought that there were 2 women up here because it sounded so real. And as we were walking, we heard them talking. It was almost as if they were back in this area. And then to our surprise, no one was up here. And then like a couple minutes later, the tour came up.
Oh,
So no one was up here. But it sounded so real. It was like 2 women having a conversation. So when the tour guide came up, I was like, hey, we just had this experience. They're like, oh yeah, we attribute it to nurses. Like people have said that they've heard women up here talking, the nurses.
Really?
Yeah, so no idea. But I was like trying to figure out like, could we hear the sound traveling up from like this part of the wall? Like, what could that have been? But no explanation, but it was so real. Like we were having a conversation and we heard it over our conversation and we stopped talking because we were surprised to be like, we knew no one was up here. So that was one of the most recent significant things that happened to me
this
here.
is a couple months ago. Mm-hmm. Can you make that call button go off for us? If you need the nurse, press your call button. The only way we can get you help from a nurse is if you press on your call button. You have to make that go off.
Just pull the string hanging from the wall and a nurse will be with you.
I swear I heard a footstep like a little bit ago.
I saw you peek out.
Yeah, it was like
On this floor?
yeah.
Did you hear it through our mics?
I can't tell. It's really hard to tell what's like in my headphones and what's like around me.
I'll have to check that. We have to check that. The
It
other
sounded
noise
like
you
a
heard.
boot, like a boot on this kind of floor. Like,
Oh, really?
Like two distinct, like duh.
So we have 2 guides that want to talk to us, Donnie and Dale. We should go chat with them.
Yeah, they do a lot of the live streams here, so they're very aware of things that happen here, and they're here all the time. So I think that they're the best to interview because of some specific experiences they've had.
Okay. Yeah, do you want to go meet up with them?
Yeah,
Talk,
let's do
hear
that.
their stories, see what is new, and maybe if there's any other history they've been able to confirm or deny?
Yeah.
Okay, great, let's do that. Hello.
Hey guys.
How you guys doing?
Good, how about you?
How long have you guys been staff members here?
Roughly 9 years.
If you could describe like the general vibe of like the haunting here, how would you describe it?
The patients here that lived here, this was their home, and they just, continue to roam around the halls. They continue to talk to people. They know what we're here for.
Is there anything scary here or malevolent?
I wouldn't say that there's nothing that would be considered evil, demon, anything like that. Cranky spirits, probably.
When I was here 2 years ago, part of the story was there is something very dark and negative here. Has that changed, or was that story wrong? Or was it just like a whisper down the lane then and we got the wrong information?
People still see it. It's just not talked about as much now.
How come?
I don't know.
Throughout the years, as we've worked here, it's been talked about and kind of put under the rug and then brought up again. It's kind of like a roller coaster with it. People are still experiencing it, and I would say people still come down to the office, hey, we've seen something, we've felt something, we've heard something that's just not, good. And it's been throughout the years we've been here, like 9 years, 10 years, and it's been here ever since.
This happened off camera, this one thing I want to ask about, because I don't know if it was my eye. It wasn't my eyes, I saw something. But it wasn't the sun pattern, because I watched that and it was stationary. But when we were sitting in our tap room, I looked up into the main hallway. Little itty bitty ball of light right across the bottom of the floor, like across the rug. It just went like shoo, and then it was gone. So I'm just curious if people have reported that here.
I've seen that.
You've seen that?
I've seen that. I will say it was during one of our lives down in the time clock hallway, and it's just like you described, very small white ball of light, just goes real quick, just right by.
Yeah.
And also, I think people have reported somewhat like that, those balls of light, like an orb.
Yeah.
Seen like down the hallway, like down this hallway, they'll be down by Angelo's hall, they'll look down Jeffrey's, they'll see something kind of float by or something. It's like, what?
So she was taking me to where she's had experiences, and we went through the one set of like the time clock things here. You go down the hallway, and that first set of like the peach colored doors. Obviously, they're both door stopped with the little wooden block. Jay was coming through the door on the left side, wasn't even close to where he would have bumped the door, and the door just shut.
Door just closed now.
Weird.
Even with the wood block under it.
Yeah, the right side of the door just shut.
Well, it coincides with what happened to us here a few weeks ago.
What happened to you guys?
Doing a live.
Oh, during a live? What happened to you
We
guys?
were in the basement, and you hear this loud boom. Like, it was so loud that I thought it was down in the basement with us.
It shook basically the hall.
So I asked the one, I said, was that down here? He said, no, it was upstairs. So we go upstairs to investigate, and that same door was shut.
Really?
But it had so much force behind it that that door stop was like 4 feet from that door.
What? What?
Dude, was that down here?
No. What? That's what made it. Look at how far that is out. That had to slam. Wow.
In the 9 years you guys have been here, you've never had an issue with that door before?
No. This is the only time I hear that this is really up there.
I wonder what's changed in the last 2 weeks. If that's not explainable, what's changed?
Can I just say, it seems like something's trying to get attention.
Yeah.
For it to... What are the odds of that?
What's going on here tonight?
Trying to get attention.
Okay, so Heather and I are sitting here with Donnie and Dale and Jay, and we were just talking to them about their experiences, and we just wanted to document. We don't know if this is supernatural. We're not saying it is, but just kind of the occurrence and timing of everything is a little strange.
So right after Jay said he feels like something is trying to get our attention, there's a pipe behind me there, and there is a piece of foam for insulation, and it started right kind of where my finger is, and it slid down. And again, it's a thing with timing, because the incident we had happen with the door, you were talking about Bill Boots.
Yeah.
So is that some kind of like intelligent response to trying to get our attention in a way?
And then also Jay's audio went down. We don't know if that's explainable right now. It could have just been, something that happened. It could have been electronic. It could have been an accidental bump. But it wouldn't be the first time we've had electronics fail and have no explanation for it. And then we just found out about
Their incident with the door.
it was just crazy.
Yeah.
Because it's the same door within 2 weeks of each other.
Yeah.
They've never had an issue with it before. So we definitely have to go over that footage and see if we can figure anything out.
Yeah.
So I think what would work really well, because this place is 90,000 square feet and you guys have been here for 10 years, Heather and I will split you guys up and we'll just point out your scariest places or the places you feel are the most active, because I think we'd love to hear your experience, your personal experiences that have really stuck with you. Does that sound good?
Yeah.
Okay, great.
This was the most critical wing that, when it was open.
Critical as far as people's conditions?
Yeah, I believe the last 4 or 6 rooms at the end of the hall were like hospice.
Oh, really?
Yes.
What's been a significant experience you've had down here?
A lot of shadow figures.
Really?
I've actually got on camera that I couldn't find. At the very end, off to the right was the ambulance entrance. And I actually got ambulance lights shining on the wall on the left-hand side.
Do you ever come down here alone?
Yes.
You do? So
Yes.
you kind of push through it?
Yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
there's been times I come back up from locking the doors and I can hear something walking behind me.
Really? When you're alone? Okay, so shadow figures down here, hearing footsteps following you. You generally just don't feel good down here.
Not all the time.
Yeah. Is
Just-
this the most haunted place for you?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, there's times where I come down the hallway just to come down and I'm like, don't look in any rooms, just look down to the floor.
Really?
All right, Donnie, so most of your experiences have taken place in Angelo's hallway.
Yes, Angelo's hallway calls to me.
It's weird you say that, because I've always been drawn to this hallway too. Just something about
Something
it.
about it, yeah. And I think that about the whole building too as well. This whole building, there's something about it that draws people. And like me, I've been here for 9-10 years and it's got a hold on me. I'm telling you. There's chairs down here and a lot of times all you got to do is just sit down and listen when you're down in this hallway. And that's what I would do. I would just bring the basic, K2, EMF, all that different little tiny stuff. And I'd just kind of sit here and listen. 206 and then the room right behind you, 203. Those are the 2 rooms that make a lot of noise. When I'm up here, those 2 rooms usually get going first. When you get activity, it sounds like full-on footsteps, people walking in those rooms. Tiles are old, some of them are coming up. You can actually hear the crunching of the tiles. You can hear stuff being moved. You can hear the slipper sliding noise. It's really incredible. And yet again, 9 years, 10 years, and it's consistent. It's not the building settling. This place is almost 100 years old. This place would have been falling apart like the Titanic by now.
So when it comes to Angelo, what history do you know about him?
Angelo, he's, we'll say his passing is a touchy subject. We try to respect him. These were people. Not everyone passed in a good way, we'll say here, and he was one of those unfortunate ones. So we don't even try to talk about what happened. We do respect him. He does come out. He comes out of his little area here. We don't know his exact room, but he usually tends to hang out in this bathroom area. He knows we're here for him, and he knows we respect him. And if you don't respect him, he shuts activity down.
So before we go to the next spot, I want to talk about this store with you
Okay.
to see how much our experiences match. So we were walking, I was on this side, Heather was here, Jay was behind us. The door was just like that. Heather and I had already crossed the threshold, and Jay was just coming through the doors, and we all hear this noise, and this starts to close. It's pretty solid now, but it was just close. It didn't go with force the way you're talking about. Can you show me how it sounded for you guys?
Ooh. Well, we were downstairs in the basement,
Yeah.
but it had to be at least this.
Really?
At least. This doorstop was literally
Sorry, Jay.
about right there.
And it was just this door closed?
Yep. And I believe each one of these are a foot, so that's like 4 foot.
So weird. Any theories?
None. We thought somebody broke in. Me and Donnie went down one north to make sure there was no broken windows or anything.
So this was right after one of my events, and there was a tour going on. I think they were leaving the basement. No one was up here. Me and my friend rounded this corner, started walking down this hallway, and we were having a conversation. And we stopped because we heard 2 women up here talking.
I'm gonna say it would be 2 nurses, because this was the men's floor up here. So I would say that's probably 2 nurses. There is a bathroom right down the hallway there, so you might have heard them coming out of the bathroom talking, jibber-jabbing, whatever it may be. But up here, it's usually the guys that make the noises and stuff. Like you said, you came around the corner. Usually when people come around this, like right around here, they'll either see something or they'll hear a noise. Something will make a noise up here. This whole floor itself makes noises. It's pretty wild up here.
So you think it could be nurses? Obviously, we know the story of Jimmy and Lester. They were real characters.
They were the pranksters in the building. They were known as that, and people leave all this stuff on here for them. They are very popular here.
Yeah.
So,
What were your experiences up here?
so I will say, when I'm up here, this is one of I would say the creepiest floor. When it's pitch black, when there's no lights on up here, it's pretty dark up here. Even during the day, there's not much light that comes through to this main hallway, and you'll hear stuff in these rooms. The room at the very end, the split room, it's kind of a double room. The room on the left, that room used to be the makeshift morgue. So it's like, man, why would it be on the 3rd floor? And people go in there and they really do experience not negative, but definitely something heavier, something probably from what went on in that room, how they prepared stuff and whatnot. Yeah, this is a very, like, you'll come up here sometimes, you'll be like, man, I don't want to be up here at all. Like, you get up on the stairs, you don't even have to come around here to see this. It's like, I don't want to be here.
This is where I saw what people refer to as the creeper. It was probably my 2nd time here. We were down the room at the end of the hall, and as soon as I walked in, one of Jeffrey's balls must have been in there. So I rolled it down the hallway, and it got to about the nurse's station. It was like somebody just kicked it. Hit the door here. Didn't bounce off, just hit the door and like stopped. So I come down to pick it up and heard a noise in that room, and so I did one of these, and it was 4 feet in there. It had to be this tall.
It was standing. So you were here, like right here?
I was bent down to pick it up like this.
Yeah.
And I was like right here, and about right here is where it was.
So tall, dark, could you see through it?
Could not see through it.
So it's weird. Do you think this is one of the most haunted spots in the building?
I like this hallway. It's definitely up there for me.
Yeah. All right, so we are in the time clock hallway, which is also Bill Boots hallway. so much happens in this hallway, so we're trying pretty much, I think this is the spaghetti wall experiment, which is basically where we throw a bunch of things at it to see if we can document anything. So we have a tripwire down by room 144. We're choosing 144 because people have had experiences there. The last time I was here, our friend and psychic medium, Michelle Belanger, accurately picked up on an experience that some people have talked about here. And the tripwire is just an EMF detector, right, Taddy?
Yeah, so it's super sensitive to EMF, and it has like a Keller spectrum. So red is the highest. It's like 22 milligauss if it goes to red.
We're pretty curious about this hallway right now, considering the door situation that happened earlier. And I don't even know that that's like, it's okay, like maybe something did that, but maybe it's explainable. But I think what's weird is that Dale and Donnie had that experience 2 weeks prior. We didn't know about that. And in the 9 years they've been here, they've never heard that before. It's never happened.
Yeah, it is pretty odd, and it's odd that it's like the first thing that happened when we started filming.
Yeah, we were here like 5 minutes.
Yeah.
One of the things we're gonna do, we're gonna put in a call to Michelle Belanger, who is in Ohio. She does know where we are because she's been here before, but we haven't told her anything about what's been happening. So she doesn't know about this door situation. So we're gonna tap into her and see if she can give us any insight on if that is supernatural, who it might be. There are REM pod 1, REM pod 2 outside of Bill Boots' room. Tripwire outside of 144. EDI is right there. We have these doors down here. Looking for shadows, listening for voices. Hello? Bill Boots? I think we'd like to see you close that door again.
Hey, could you imagine if the door just slammed, like both of those doors just slammed shut?
Oh my God, I would love it.
What was it like here during the holidays?
Did you hear that? Yeah, it's down here.
What do you think of this tree at the end of the hallway?
You okay?
I just swear I saw a ball of light go behind you.
Really?
Yeah, like I thought it was like
A car or something? Like in the street?
Something's beeping back here.
Yeah. What was
like that was so weird.
That was that wind
REM
chime?
pod?
Bill Boots, are you coming out into the hallway? Was that you?
And you saw some sort of light anomaly right before that
I
happened?
like it was like out of the corner of my eye. So like I feel like I was pointing my camera towards Heather, but I like turned my head, and as I did, I saw like a ball of light like go behind you. But because I was like turning my head at the time, it felt like it looked like what a car would have looked like going up the street in the window behind you. But like by the time I like had landed my head, there was no car there where there should have been one had it been that.
It's funny, I wonder what made that go off. Because like the temperatures feels pretty stable.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel like it's really changed that much to...
That was the REM pod. Was that the sound?
Was that the REM pod?
Yeah, it's the temperature sensor in the REM pod.
Oh. Could you tell which one it was?
It was the one on the left.
One on the left, okay. If Bill can't come forward, can someone else come forward? All
Our friend Dale told us that a lot of people who were coming to the...
That's this REM pod.
Is it temperature again?
I guess. It's
The little light in the middle?
Yeah, that's temperature. When the temperature goes off on that, it's like plus or minus 5 degrees.
Yeah.
okay, so it was the little blue light.
So it's negative degrees, right? Doesn't
Yeah.
that mean it's going down when it's blue?
Mm-hmm.
It's funny that only one of them's going off. Okay, hey, look, if you can understand me, make the other light go off.
Can you get close to the... What was
That's
that?
temperature now.
Yeah. That's weird. Can you do something other than affect the temperature? Or how about, do you see the one next to the wheelchair? Can you affect that one next? Because you hit the one next to the nurse's station and the one over here on the bin. Make the one next to the wheelchair go off.
What was that?
Yeah, heard that. Oh, is that?
No, it sounded like it could have been above us.
What did you hear?
I mean, the first thing that automatically came to mind was like a chair moving. Who's your favorite nurse?
It's pretty cold in here. Do you have extra blankets you can share? Extra pajamas? Maybe if we shut some of these doors, it'll make it warmer because we can trap the heat. What is that? You saw that too?
Yes.
What was that?
What did you see?
I mean, it definitely wasn't my eyes playing tricks on me because I was focused.
Yeah,
I was looking.
me too.
Feels like someone is like coming up behind me.
I just feel like something is up with the side of my face, and my ear just popped. Feels like there's something up here. What's that?
I have no idea. Why is it doing this?
What is this?